What's good, y'all? I know it's been a minute, quite a good minute since I've made a video. Been busy with work and a bunch of other shit. But usually that won't happen. I actually have a couple videos though planned that I want to make this week before the weekend's out. So, we're going to be right back on it. I just haven't had a chance to make some of these. I've been meaning to make these a little bit sooner, get these out to you guys. But man, there's just a bunch of shit that's been happening, a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, so, let's just get right into it. I wanted to make this one first, kind of following up just some of the drama has elevated to a level that I could not even have fathomed that this type of shit would ever happen, that there is literally a gamer out there that would ever condone anything like this. Basically, people have been going out and supposedly reporting Stellar Blade Blood Rain to payment processors, that being mainly Visa and MasterCard. Now, if you don't know, there has been recent issues in the past, Visa and MasterCard coming out and trying to claim a authority that they just simply do not have or in any way should, and that is basically deciding what they believe their payment processing systems should be allowed to be used for, like what they believe they want to represent, I suppose, as a company, like what Visa wants to feel they're represented by, and pretending in some kind of way that, or some kind of fashion, that what you purchase or use them as a payment processor for somehow reflects them as a company or something like that. Mainly one big notable instance of this was on Steam, where payment processors were coming at Steam and saying that Steam had to remove certain games from their platform, or else they would basically take their service away from Steam. Like, okay, you can no longer, as Steam, you can no longer use our payment processing system, and essentially holding these people hostage with their payment processing system, as obviously Visa and MasterCard are hands down the biggest payment processors out there. They're pretty much everywhere that you could possibly think of on the internet. And then what are the other ones? PayPal, right? So pretty much they decided one day that they thought that they could hold people hostage. Now, at the time, the only games that were really being taken down off of Steam and that they were attacking were weird games involving things like incest or possibly too questionable type games on a very extreme level, right? There's a lot of people that want to come out and say like, oh, well, if you want those games to be sold, then there's something wrong with you. And that in a way of like trying to rationalize it, right? Like it's cool, like it's fine. But the problem is give them an inch and what are they going to do? They're going to take a mile. You let them say, oh, well, hey, we don't agree with these games and these things being sold. You let that happen. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to just start picking all sorts of different things that they deem as not a representation of their brand, right? That can just be a slippery slope. That's a deep rabbit hole we don't want to fall down to. This isn't just a form of censorship at this point. It's a form of massive control over consumer markets. But the point of this video that I want to make today is people have been going out of their way, as you probably see right here, to report Stellar Blade Blood Rain to payment processors in an attempt to notify these payment processors, intentionally try and get Stellar Blade Blood Rain to not be allowed to go up on markets such as Steam, right? Unforgivable. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, this goes back to their reasoning being that they believe that Evie here looks like an underage child because she's sexualized, people are PDF files, XYZ. And that's the problem, is that these people know that Visa and MasterCard have done this in the past, and this is exactly what I mean by give an inch, they'll take a mile. And it's actually coming from an angle that I didn't personally expect to see exactly, but not only will Visa and MasterCard have the ability to take advantage of this in the future. If you allow them to do it once, they'll try and do it again. But because it tells people that this is something that can happen, it allows people to try and take advantage of it and, coax Visa and MasterCard to say, hey, you should be on our side. We don't like this. We don't want it. So you should get rid of it because we don't like it, right? And so that's what they're doing with Stellar Blade Blood Rain here. And to be real, like as far as it goes, I honestly, seriously doubt Visa and MasterCard are actually going to do anything about this, that they're going to take this remotely seriously. I mean, it's literally just a combat action single player game with a female that is very obviously not underage. I'm sure with what they're actually doing in life, you know, these massive companies probably don't even care that much about the drama. Like the drama to them is nothing. Really, the conversation is mostly around just the fact that these people think that this is something that they should even attempt to do. You can see they have a little clip it here, you know, what I'm assuming comes from, you know, a piece of their website. Now notice right here it says a sexualized character that was intentionally made to look younger, not like a child, not childlike. Like they're not even trying to like push it here, trying to say that, oh, intentionally made to look like a child, because nobody said that. Shift Up never said that. The CEO at Shift Up never actually said that. That doesn't exist. It's totally something people are making up. And sure, she looks younger, but younger can still be an adult and is still an adult. You know, they're just trying to push it and say that, oh, because they look younger and it's sexualized, that looks cool. Like what do we want to do? We want to make her look 50 and then sexualize her. Is that acceptable? Is that cool for you? Is that the chill zone right there, you know? But, you know, I mean, who's not attracted to younger women? You know what I'm saying? Who's not attracted to a fucking 20, 23, 25-year-old woman who's in her prime, you know, looks fine, has a toned body, looks really good, you know what I'm saying? Does that mean that a 30, 40-year-old woman can't be attractive? Of course not. Of course, there's many attractive older women as well. But naturally, a younger woman, you know, in her 20s, not only men, but women as well, are going to look at them and say, wow, look, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she attractive, right? It's just, that's how it is. But of course, she's younger, but she's not a child. But of course, whatever this is, it's going to catch you a ban. Basically, if you say it looks cool or can't wait, what else could you say? That's just literally any form. That is the most basic form of support you could show. That's not even saying that you want it. Oh, it just looks cool. Like just in passing, like, oh yeah, that looks cool, you know. Hey, that looks cool. That'll get you banned on whatever the fuck this is, right? That's absolute. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up. You say that Stellar Blade looks cool, ban, gone. You cannot call the interview a pedophile. Okay, well that's cool. You know, you don't want to call anybody anything that there's actually no proof. You know, you don't want to defame people's names and shit. That's absolutely fucked up and horrible. I don't disagree with that rule. But now, there's really not a whole lot more to say about that. It's just, it's really sad to say that, like, there are gamers out there who want to, it's not even really a form of censorship. They want to completely eliminate the things that they don't like because they have these, you know, specific personal fabricated emotions about something, which 90% of it is really just fueled by online rhetoric and emotional rhetoric pushing towards virtue signaling and things like that. Because, you know, a lot of it is, it's white knighting, right? At least 50% or more of the people talking bad about Stellar Blade and Eevee's appearance wouldn't ever say anything or even think it to begin with if there wasn't the people out there that said it in the first place. And now it's, oh, well, if I don't stand on the side of the people they're not calling PDFs, then I will also be called a PDF, and I don't want that. So, you know, you got to pick a side. We live in an era, unfortunately, of you got to pick a side, right? Because if you're not with us, you're against us. That's this whole era that we live in general. I mean, you see it with, you know, content creators who try to, for example, be non-political. You've got leftist activists and stuff coming up against people who are literally non-political by any means, just saying like, you're our enemy just because, like, you have to take a stance and say something on your platform about XYZ or else you're against us, you're the enemy, right? And, you know, that's the world we live in. So, you know, people are jumping ahead of the curve. Like, okay, as soon as people are talking about this, well, I better pick a side and let people know what side I'm on ASAP, so that way I don't get lumped in, right? Because now once a certain side, and usually it's the same similar motherfuckers, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that they be picking these kinds of sides like this, you know that as soon as that happens, that, okay, well, if you get caught just saying, oh, the game looks cool, or, you know, the combat looks cool or anything like that, I mean, look, it says it right here. If you say it looks cool, you can't wait, you're banned, right? Pick a side. You picked a side. By just saying it looks cool, you picked a side. Apparently that means that you are a PDF file. But the only other thing I have to really talk about on this, and that's this dude right here, this York fucking Torch Games, right? This dude is, you know, he's a check mark. He's got what, 15K followers. You know, he's not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's not out here doing nothing. But supposedly, if you look on his account, he is somebody who preaches anti-woke activism, right? So he's against a lot of this new age agenda pushing in video games, in modern gaming, right? Virtue signaling, let's go in and make sure that we're checking our representation check boxes, even if it doesn't actually make any kind of lore sense. You know, we're just doing it. You got to make sure you got all of the different representation. He's supposedly against a lot of these things, and he's also anti-censorship. But here he has made a big point to make sure that we know what side he stands on and for the Stellar Blade Blood Rain situation, which you'll find here in a minute that he also just so happens to be completely contradicting himself left and right and doesn't actually know how to go about this argument. He wants to claim that what he's saying isn't censorship, you know, that he just believes that Shift Up messed up. He doesn't like the game, this and that. They made a mistake, but that's as far as it goes, right? And of course, if that was as far as it went, he's fully right to say, oh, I don't like Eevee's design. You know, that he's right. He's got his right to that. Everyone's got their right to say shit like that. That's fine. You don't have to agree. That's fine. And then, you know, of course, he's going to talk about, oh, it's not censorship. Oh, it's not censorship. But you're going to see that his quote stance on, you know, just, oh, it was just a mistake they made and they could have done better and he's just disappointed, and oh, it's not censorship, is really going to be contrasted with his actual behavior and the way that he approached the whole situation. Everyone knows I'm against reporting games to payment processors. The CEO was all cocky, reposting owns. Victory lap always comes with a bill. Always, right? Now, he wants to sit here like he's against blah, 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 but he's very clearly making it known that he's absolutely all right with it. If it happens, fuck you. He's clearly not for the gaming community, because even if he completely doesn't like this, you would still be speaking up and saying, no, this is not acceptable. To put the power in the hands of payment processors is something that should not happen and just should be completely shut down immediately. But that's not what he's doing. He's just letting it ride, right? Let it ride. And he's all like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. It's your fault, right? It's just him being cocky, and you're gonna see a lot of that. He basically is saying, without saying, that he supports payment processors being notified, and he would probably be happy if payment processors prevented this game from being released. Right now, we're gonna go to this next one. He's got this cocky attitude, right, of, I don't want followers who find this character attractive. Now, what is this? This is literally censorship. Like, so we're gonna go over here, right, to his little page here. He talks about, like, oh, he's anti-censorship and this and that, and then he goes on try to defend, oh, well, how is this censorship, which we'll get to this here in a second. Oh, explain how this is censorship, or why does this bother you so much, or what's censorship about this, and this and that, acting like, oh, that's not his goal. His goal isn't censorship, even though he's already stated that he's totally fine with payment processors being notified and the game entirely being taken down, which, you know, I don't understand how that could be anything but censorship. I don't want you to follow me if you find this character attractive, in right to his own opinion, to say that he doesn't like it and he doesn't want to associate with people who like it. I suppose, you know, he's got his right to that. It's not like he's stopping people from liking it. It's not like he's, you know, trying to get the game shut down because people like it. He just doesn't fuck with you, right? Oh, except that he is doing that stuff. He actually is doing that stuff and totally cool with it. In fact, he's so cool with it. He's so against censorship, right, that he actually is supporting this petition that he put out. I'm not sure if he put it out or if somebody else put it out, but he's definitely found it somehow. I looked for it, but he found it and is trying to promote the signatures behind this petition, so that way, you know, what is this petition? Basically, protect youthful characters, and the whole petition is set up about improving Eevee's design, right? Essentially making her look two things. Number one, making her look older, but also two, making her look more feminine. As I talked in one of my other videos before, that a lot of people think that she looks like a tomboy and that is somehow unfeminine and also unattractive. I have no idea when tomboys became unattractive, but you know, whatever. I don't know, man. Either way, obviously he wants this design changed, right? That would be a positive change to him if it was changed, right? But it's not just, oh, you know what, whatever, I hope that they listen to the backlash and maybe they'll change it. No, there's an actual petition, and I promise you the CEO of Shift Up does not give an actual fuck what anybody thinks. They're gonna make the game that they want to make. This means nothing. But he's going on to say that they pass 50 signatures, and just, you know, how awesome, wow. And then the best part about it is aesthetically refined character design translates into better sales. Basically what he's trying to say is he believes that Stellar Blade is missing out on money and opportunity because of Eevee's design, because people aren't going to buy it. You cannot make a game everyone likes. It is literally impossible. People have tried, and people have fell into the dirt and shit and piss trying to make games that everyone's gonna like. It's literally impossible. It doesn't exist. There is no such thing as a game that everybody likes. Even if it's just so much the fact that like maybe it's fine to them, they see everything is fine, but it's just not catching their eye enough to buy it over other games that they want to buy, right? So all this guy is doing is saying, yeah, there are people that exist that, you know, don't like the game and aren't going to buy it. Okay, and that's going to somehow translate into worse sales because of it. This game has had absolutely nothing but free publicity since the trailer dropped. Either people hype about it, Stellar Blade fans hype about it, people going up. I made the whole video about Stellar Blade versus God of War and how the whole controversy between those two games has put Stellar Blade in front of a whole shitload of people that wouldn't have seen it before. People are still talking about it. They can't shut up about it. You don't hear shit about God of War hardly anymore at all. Like you see it here and there, but really no one's talking about it. Now it's still God of War, you know, it doesn't need as much publicity, but my point is people can't shut the fuck up about Stellar Blade. It's gonna get in front of so many more people because of this. All publicity is good publicity. This guy, I want you to remember, he has 15K followers, right? And he's got this signature at the time has only 52 signatures. Now I tried to go and look up this petition myself so that way I could see what the updated version was, but I just couldn't find it because for some reason he supports it so much that he's not going to post a single link to it. I scrolled through his entire page, you know, for a good minute, didn't find a single link to the petition anywhere. So, you know, really confused. If I supported it, I would have posted a petition link to it, which I actually did, but not to this petition. But so what did I do? You know, I just laughed at him and completely ratioed the absolute living fuck out of him by finding an opposing position, which is leave Eevee exactly as designed, no censorship. And at the time, it was at 740, absolutely dog walk, which then I updated later, which has hit and reached 1,500. We can actually go to the petition here real quick. Look at 3,075 signatures so far. Now, again, I'm sure that I've seen updates with this one being at like 65 or something now. It could be higher. We could even be generous and say that it's up to 100 now, right? It's absolutely dog walked. Absolutely dog walked. This guy wants to pretend like, oh, there's some big movement. Oh, they're losing all this money because of whatever. Bro has 15K followers, people who like this guy. And he can't even get, more than 100 people to sign his own goddamn petition or petition that he supports. He can't even post his own link to the petition that he wants supported. Please explain that. You know, clearly people don't care, bro. But either way, I ratioed the absolute living hell out of him. At this point, he's sitting at 103 likes for his little post with 760 comments. The comment to like ratio is absolutely diabolical. But here I am sitting here with 868 likes. And I just want this guy to know, like, bro, you got absolutely ratioed by a basically nobody VTuber, bro. I hope that tells you something, man. The best part, I'm not even the only one. We got Emerald over here, which, you know, I agree with sometimes, don't agree with other times, ratioing. But right here, like this dude, 2.6K, 1.3K, people ratioing him into the dirt. But if you go and scroll through this dude's like account here, he's full of just, man, I find it interesting how the EV and anti-censorship brigade get bothered by a petition asking Shift Up to prove Eevee's design, but they don't think that the post below is censorship. Isn't, according to them, asking an artist to adapt a form of censorship. Which, and then if you actually go and read the post, you'll find it very interesting that he doesn't actually ask an artist to do that in the slightest. He says maybe this is all studios need to start doing if they want sales and avoid layoffs. Just saying, in his opinion, that if studios did this using Chat GPT to make a character beautiful or whatever, is gonna be how they, you know, start making sales and avoiding layoffs. He did not one time ask and say, hey artists, can you please do this instead? Or hey, you know, God of War Laufey, can you please go and change your character design? I'm gonna start a petition and blah 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 blah. He just thinks that this is gonna sell better than this, and you know, you can disagree with him, you can agree with him, that's not the point. He is literally supporting a petition that he's trying to actually push the changing of a character in a video game. And then you have these great dudes over here, like Chibi's been weighing in on this guy here for a minute. He says, man, you're running your reputation in the ground. You can no longer be upset if what you love gets censored now. Basically saying, like, if you find yourself on the side of pushing for censorship into a different video game, which, you know, he wants to claim that the petition isn't censorship, but then yet he's over here saying, oh, it's totally fine and cool that payment processors are being notified about the game and possibly having it completely shut down. Just basically saying that what's fair is fair. Like, okay, if you're going to be on the side of censorship, then you better not get mad that if something that you love, you know, endures the same treatment. Don't get mad because you've now chosen your side. So if it happens to you, don't get mad. Then you got John over here saying, Chibi, why on earth would you attack someone over an opinion on a video game? A lot of influencers have lost the plot here, but it's not York. Oh, okay, except, you know, he's completely lost the plot. Why on earth would you attack somebody? Man, his Chibi, man, your words of utter sheer violence up here, your absolute, you know, abhorrent behavior, a man saying what he's, you know, observing and what he believes. You can no longer be upset if what you love gets censored. That's just saying, hey, you know, like, fair is fair, right? Didn't attack anybody. It's absolutely crazy. And then you have over here Chibi saying another thing. He shared this petition again. Over 2,000 signatures on the current petition to combat your call for censorship. Your 50 versus 2,000. The stats prove everything. Which, I mean, literally you can't deny. Like 2,000 versus 50 or 60, 70 at that point. I mean, it's plain as day, man. Like, the money is going towards Stellar Blade, not away from it. This dude comes in here to say, wow, Chibi, didn't know you became obsessed with my account. I'm flattered. Anyway, the petition to improve Eevee is based on market and consumer feedback. Okay, well, it's on its way up to 100. Wow, man. This was 16 hours ago. 65. It's on its way up, man. It's look, bro, I promise you, it's almost to 100. We're getting it there. And obviously you can tell just it's doing so great. Yeah, sure, your 2,000 signatures, now 3,000, by the way. It really, bro, you don't understand, bro. Because then he goes on to say, it's clear that players are realizing that Shift Up is leaving a lot of money on the table. Okay. I don't understand how you possibly think that that's clear when, you know, one is gaining massive support and the other is not. And it's not the one you want to be gaining support that's gaining all the support. Let's call it like it is, man. You know, it's plain as day that more people are excited for this than not. And I mean, you can pretend to be against censorship all you want, bro, and pretend like, oh well, people only know the word censorship so they keep using it. Bro, you want the game taken down. If you don't want the game taken down, you're doing a really piss poor job of telling people, you know, hey, this is not cool. We don't want to be sending this shit to payment processors, and you want to call it not censorship, man. That is what it is. But that's pretty much shit, y'all. I guess I really never imagined that I would be making this many videos in this series about this game, at least in a row. I really figured that the next time that I would be talking about this game would be when we'd get more updates about it. But the drama just gets thicker and thicker. You know, by the way, there is a petition that you can sign just for the fuck of it. If you see this video, I'll put a link in the description if you want to go and sign the petition to help keep Eevee the same and, you know, actually go against censorship and freedom of artistic expression in video games. But that's it for today, guys. I've got a couple more videos that's coming this week and this weekend. Like I said, we're going to be talking about a little bit of an update, a quick update on the Fillion situation. And then, of course, I want to cover a lot of the Steam Machine drama and the conversation behind that. So stay tuned for those things, and I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.